Real burnt offering is going to be when all of these Jews that don't believe in Jesus Christ go to hell for eternity. That's the oven that they ought to be worried about.
Freedom means everything. If you lose it, then you will understand what it means to have it. When the Nazis occupied Hungary, I was 13. We were told not to come to school. We had to wear a yellow star. The ghetto that we had to live in, we thought it might be the worst, and of course it was not.
Hej TikTok! Vi alla vet den sataniska ondskan som utspelade sig under andra världskriget. Nazisterna försökte utrota olika etniska grupper och främst bland dessa var judarna. Enligt beräkningen ska cirka 6 miljoner judar ha blivit mördade i Europa av kanske den mörkaste formen av ondska i historien. Steven förnekar självklart detta då han och hans pastorers hat mot judarna har förblindat dem från verkligheten. Vi ska lyssna på när Steven förnekar förintelsen. Vi ska även höra på när en av hans pastorer från NIFB-sekten klargör sitt hat mot judarna. Och avslutningsvis vill jag visa er att äpplet inte faller långt från trädet.
So I just wanted to make a short video to address the Holocaust, which, frankly, I don't believe that the official version of the Holocaust is true whatsoever. So no, this is not pro-Nazi or pro-Hitler or racist or anything. That has nothing to do with this issue. The issue is whether or not 6 million Jews died in gas chambers and were subsequently cremated, what we know as the Holocaust. That's the issue. It's an issue of whether these historical events took place or not. Obviously, Jews died in World War II. Obviously, there were Jews that were executed in World War II. Obviously, Hitler hated Jews. I'm not disputing that fact for 1 second, that Hitler and the Nazis hated Jews, or that the Jews were rounded up and put into forced labor camps, and that they were put on trains and taken to camps where they were forced to work, etc. Lots of people died in World War II. About 70 million people died in World War II on all sides. It was a horrific event. It was a bloodbath. I mean, we're talking Russians, Americans, Germans, British, some Jews. I mean, people died in this horrific event known as World War II. Now, you say, well, why did they have 52 ovens then? If they weren't, just mass exterminating and cremating 1 million people. Well, the reason why they had 52 ovens is because they're cremating people that died. For example, elderly people, sick people, people that are killed for whatever reason. It's World War II. So why would you make a gas chamber that holds 2,000 people? Gas 2,000 people at once.
Hur kan man skratta när man pratar om tusentals människor som gasas ihjäl?
Gas 2,000 people at once. Gas 2,000 people at once. And really spend the next 2 or 3 weeks cremating those bodies. Because it's impossible for me, in 2015 America to tell you exactly what happened over there on the other side of the world 70 years ago. But I'm just telling you that I don't believe the story because the story doesn't add up. That just because people were rounded up and put in forced labor camps, that does not mean that they were systematically exterminated and cremated to the tune of 6 million. For example, people will point out the fact that they were giving them the tattoos. Why would you put a tattoo on somebody that you're about to cremate? Now, people will raise certain objections like, what about all those giant piles of human hair? What about all the piles of shoes? That's the smoking gun, that's the proof. Well, not really, because you don't have to kill someone to get their hair. And you don't have to kill someone to get their shoes. Other people will say, what about all those pictures of those emaciated corpses going into mass graves? Well, first of all, you'll never see a picture of 6 million of them. The pictures, if you do the counting, it's going to be a lot less than that. Because in war, a lot of times the supply lines are being cut off and a lot of people are starving to death. So you're going to have pictures of emaciated people. That doesn't prove that this story about the Holocaust, per se, and the 6 million is true. You say, what about all the thousands and thousands of eyewitnesses? What about that? Well, here's the thing about that. A lot of these people can witness to the fact of, being sent to a labor camp, because it really happened. A lot of people will tell you about going to Auschwitz and playing on the soccer team and acting in musicals and plays and spending the camp currency at the commissary and things like that. But are there thousands and thousands of witnesses that will testify to seeing gas chambers and people being cremated? No, it's actually very few witnesses that can testify to that. And you say, well, what about those witnesses? Well, they're lying. It's that simple. The real burnt offering is going to be when all of these Jews that don't believe in Jesus Christ go to hell for eternity. That's the oven that they ought to be worried about.
This serpent seed of the devil, these Jews that are out there, because they want to destroy everything that's holy and everything that's righteous. And in our culture, it is not acceptable to say anything negative about them. Haven't you heard about the Holocaust, Pastor Shelley? Yeah. Why do I care? I mean, if someone walks into a homo bar and shoots a bunch of homos and kills all of them, you know how many tears I shed for that? 0. And you know what? People that worship the devil, I don't care how many of them die. I don't care. You say, well, Adolf Hitler is evil. Absolutely. That guy was full of the devil. Okay, that guy was an antichrist figure. Absolutely. You know what? If Antichrist kills another Antichrist, I don't cry even 1 second. Well, did they kill 6 million? I doubt it. Only if we were lucky. Only if we were lucky. Only if we were lucky. Said, this sermon is not nice. And you know, this is what the Bible's saying. When the wicked get destroyed, notice what it says. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. It's not like, oh man, that's kind of sad that disgusting AIDS-filled faggot died. No. It's like, yes! Woo! Let's clean it up. You know, he's not disappointed about it. So, and we can't see hell. We don't know what that's like. But you say, well, how do you know that God is real? Because fags exist. Because that is a punishment. No one would choose that. No one would want that. It's so unnatural. It's so repulsive, and it's so disgusting, and it's so evil, and it's so reprobate. The only reason someone could do such a thing is because God is punishing them with his wrath, and it's an evil being brought on them. And then when you see that, you're like, wow, God is real. God is really punishing people. You have to get Christians to realize who the synagogue of Satan is. You have to get them to realize God hates people. You have to get them to realize that the fags and the Jews are of the devil. And if we want to have true righteousness and we want to love God in this country, we have to eliminate these individuals. We cannot allow this to rise. And well, let me tell you something. Someone's going to die. You know, I don't think you realize we are in a crash course. Someone is going to die. Is it going to be Christians or is it going to be fags and Jews? Because there is not an option where we both just coexist permanently.
Äpplet faller inte långt från trädet. Stevens son Isaac Anderson är dessutom en renodlad nazist. Här är ett par urklipp från hans Twitter-sida. håll er borta från denna onda sekten.